Now to our series on the dropout problem in America. Personal experiences outside of pure academics often contribute to whether a student may leave school. Tonight, we visit St. Petersburg, Florida, where one 8th grader's enthusiasm for journalism has helped shine a light on problems in his school, while at the same time brightening his future. Ray Suarez reports for our American Graduate Project.
This is how 14-year-old DeQuantin Davis starts every school day in St. Petersburg, Florida. He wakes up early and walks his 12-year-old sister, Terriana, 6 blocks to the bus stop. To the casual eye, his family's neighborhood seems pleasant and sunny. But on closer look, the scars of poverty and a lingering recession become apparent. High unemployment, foreclosures, and some of the highest crime rates in the city. Last month, DeQuantin says, he began making it a point to walk with his sister after a man she didn't know repeatedly tried to get her into his car. Terriana refused and got away unharmed.
I was always raised in the hood, never in a quiet place. We always had violence, trouble, something always going wrong. Because you got loud music, loud people, drinking, smoking, drugs, and everything in that one little neighborhood. It turns the whole neighborhood into a bad zone.
The family lives in an area of St. Petersburg known as Midtown, a predominantly African-American section of the city that was at one time largely segregated. DeQuantin believes Midtown's problems have had a profound effect on many students growing up in the neighborhood, and 2 years ago he noticed a trend of violence starting on social media websites and spreading to his classrooms here at Johns Hopkins Middle School.
My 6th grade year, we had 100 and something arrests. And most of the time, them fights is from gangs and stuff that happened at home from Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff from home. And it came into the school. We had police every day at the school, and I really didn't like that.
What the violence did was spark an idea for DeQuantin. He hoped to shine a light on the roots of the fighting and why it was happening at Johns Hopkins. DeQuantin led a team of his classmates in producing a video for the PBS NewsHour reporting labs, which showcase student journalism across the nation.
They put us in groups, and I got the people who got good grades and good stuff that they do in journalism. They were talking about gangs, drugs, and fights, and that's making a bad influence on my school. I said, it might don't be the drugs and the gangs and the bullying stuff. It might happen at home, something that happened at home from the anger and frustration, they bring it in school, and the only way to take it out is to fight or to yell at the teachers or do something bad.
The students questioned other students.
I honestly didn't really care. I just wanted to keep fighting because it's in my blood.
Teachers.
Asian gangs, neighborhood gangs, I've been here through all of it. When you have a disagreement in the neighborhood, the easiest place to find the person is at school because you all go to school together.
And even administrators and the campus police in search of answers as to what was causing the dramatic number of arrests and assaults at Johns Hopkins. The end result was a striking 6.5-minute report titled Fighting Chance, a deeply honest look at the problems inside the school.
In 2010, a police officer was shot and killed in the neighborhood. While police searched for the suspect, Johns Hopkins was closed for the day and students had to go to another school. After a day of searching, 16-year-old Nicholas Lindsay was caught and charged with the officer's murder. Lindsay is a former student at Johns Hopkins Middle School.
The video was produced as part of a communications magnet program in the Pinellas County School District, known as Journalisim.
Where's your best folder that you did?
The program places professional journalists in 3 St. Petersburg Title I schools, including DeQuantin's.
There was never a doubt in DeQuantin's mind that he wanted to do this story.
Journalism coordinator Cinda Mort says DeQuantin and his classmates took on a complex and sensitive issue that adults have been trying to deal with for years.
According to Johns Hopkins staff, middle school is an important time in a student's development to identify causes of violence and begin prevention strategies.
Mort says the video is exactly the type of work she hoped would be created when the program was launched 10 years ago. Her goal was to teach students as young as kindergartners.
I'm a reporter from the Manatee Messenger. May I please ask you a question?
All the way through high school, the fundamentals of news gathering.
There wasn't any journalism program that was trying to reach students in K through 5 anywhere across the country. So we decided that it was curiosity, observation, accuracy, and fairness. And if we could remain true to those 4 core concepts and tried to figure out how to connect those concepts on a level that even a kindergartner would begin to understand.
DeQuantin joined the program following elementary school, and his teachers said he showed an immediate knack for photography. DeQuantin's mother, LaQuanya Stewart, says journalism has been a blessing for the family and that it's helped her son become more outgoing. But she says she was not expecting him to produce such a well-thought-out video on the violence at school.
That was kind of a shocker because that's not a conversation that most teenagers as boys talk about or say that, wait, this is not the problem. It starts before then.
And the surprise didn't stop there. When the video was being made, Johns Hopkins principal Barry Brown was one of the first subjects interviewed. He says his middle schoolers have been so professional, he first thought adults were doing most of the work.
I think my first take, I made them stop. My first interview, I had some kids come in and I had to pull data. You got to, who wrote these questions? Who? And they were looking at each other like, and one of the kids was like, I did.
In fact, that was 8th grader and lead reporter Alexis Barnhart grilling Principal Brown.
We need to come up with hardcore questions that get us the answers that we need for the project. You have to show them that you're actually serious, and then they can actually hold a conversation with you.
While Brown admits being nervous about how the video would reflect on his school, he says the journalism program has been great for both students and faculty at Johns Hopkins, where violence and fighting have declined in the last 2 years.
How often does a middle school kid get a chance to come in with his own list of questions that they've developed themselves and question a principal? And that principal is going to have to give him some answers. I've seen kids that are in the hallway ripping and running and being, our typical middle school kids, and coming here and yes sir, no sir, setting up shop, thank you for your time, taking notes. So I think it definitely establishes some professionalism for the kids.
For DeQuantin, who wants to be a firefighter and a photographer when he grows up, journalism has given him a reason to stay in school.
If I didn't have a camera, I would probably be led up with the wrong people and doing the wrong stuff, and I wouldn't probably make it to college.
As for his video, which drew attention from local media outlets and is now gaining national exposure, DeQuantin says there's one person in particular he's hoping will watch it.
I want the president to see what I could do and see what young kids could do, young black American kids. And I want them to know that somebody out there trying to learn and trying to get their education right and be a good adult dad in the community when he grow up.
DeQuantin and his fellow journalists in St. Petersburg are now working on a video examining the lack of male influence in the lives of some of their classmates.
We have more online from our series, including a look at a day in the life of a first-grade journalist. American Graduate is a public media initiative funded by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.